If I lost everything today and had to start from scratch and I needed to become a millionaire this year, here's what I do. Now, I became a millionaire when I was 32 years old, and this is actually a topic that took me a lot of time to get comfortable even talking about. I actually made my first million the first year I launched my online course. And while that might sound crazy, all I did was create a valuable course that was worth at least $2,000 and I over delivered. And then I sold it to more than 500 people. And when you break it down by month, that's about 41 to 42 new students per month. That is the power of scalability. In fact, it took me realizing that my business had done much better than a lot of people who are teaching online to realize, wow, I really need to put my voice out there and share what I know so that I can be a part of the good advice around digital products, digital marketing, and all of that. But I will say, money has always been a secondary focus. Primarily, my focus has been on helping people. And this is why this conversation around how much I've earned was something I had to get more and more comfortable with over the years. And really, it's just a quick way to kind of demonstrate that knowledge, expertise, and authority. But if I were to really tell you what is more important to me than the money that I've earned, I would share with you how it's given me time freedom and the ability to be there for my friends, my family, and my students, and anyone else who's come to work with me. I really believe that money is only motivating to a point. What is far more meaningful is what it can provide you in your life, but also I think it really matters how you make that money. Now, there are a lot of ways to make good money in today's world. I'm a firm believer that if you create something of value that is based in your passions or desire to do good in this world, to improve people's lives, and you do it well, the money will follow. Obviously, there's a lot packed into that statement, and I never want to make it seem like it's just something that happens easily overnight, because that is not true. Anything worthwhile does take some hard work, but I've also seen the importance of untying your earning potential from your time, meaning to not work hourly or salary, and to focus on something that is scalable. So whether it's product creation, digital products, physical products, things like that, when you focus on things that actually bring value into people's lives and you get it out there with good marketing, it can be an absolute game changer for not only the people who get to experience whatever you create, but also in your own life. So while there are lots of people talking about how you can make money in affiliate marketing or real estate or arbitrage or any of the many, many things that you will find digging through YouTube, for me, the obvious choice is to create an online course or a digital product. Because not only do you need minimal investment, we're talking a few $100s. If that, you can do a lot actually with the free resources that exist in today's world. Not only do you need very little startup capital, but you also get to teach people something that makes their life better. More often than not, I work with service providers who take what they know and they package it up into an online course or a digital product. That way, they're no longer trading that time for money. They're able to impact more people and still have that positive impact on the world. I also work with people who have never taught before, but they still have something worthwhile. Maybe it's something they've overcome themselves, something that they've figured out how to do better. And when they take what they know and they package it up into a digital product, it is something that is scalable, meaning how much you earn is not based in the amount of hours spent. And that is where you can start to see some really big numbers. And for me, most importantly, it's also how you can be providing real value in people's lives. And again, I really believe that money is an energetic resource and we put meaning to it. Meaning if you earn $200 from helping somebody, that feels so good. Let's say you earn $200 maybe from drop shipping crap off Alibaba. It just doesn't feel as good. And listen, I am not knocking the other ways that people have found financial freedom, because what I've seen happen more often than not is sometimes people need to alleviate stressors in their life, especially financial stressors, in order to free up energy and time to get to a place where they can do something more meaningful. But we know that we are motivated by reciprocity, meaning that exchange. So starting an online course requires zero audience or followers. You don't even need to have an idea, when you're first starting out, and really all you need is Wi-Fi and a laptop. It's pretty amazing. Real quick, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of creating an online course if your main motivation is to become a millionaire this year. First, there's really high profit margins. Because there's no physical inventory, no shipping, no fulfillment, the cost to deliver an online course once it's created is really, really low. Meaning, if you have a $500 course, you're probably going to be able to keep 60% of that. Profit margins for online courses can be really high, anywhere from 30 to 60%. And if you do it well and right, you can keep it around that 60% mark. Another benefit, again, is that it's scalable, meaning you're not trading time for money. So you can create the product once and then you can sell it 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times, and on and on and on. And this gives you serious leverage. The other thing that's amazing is you can build it once and sell it for years. Now, you'll probably have to do some updates here and there, but by and large, you'll do most of the heavy lifting on the front end. I have clients who have digital products that have been out there and are still making sales 8 years later. I have a digital product myself that has been going for almost 7 years. Another thing that's super powerful about online courses, if this interests you, is that it builds long-time authority. It positions you as a thought leader. This can open doors to all kinds of experiences. For me, that's looked like speaking engagements, being hired as a consultant for Meta, publishing my first book, which was a definite bucket list item. And I have seen my clients and my students go on to do so many things because of the credibility and authority that their online courses create for them. Now, I will say, if that is not something you're interested in, that's okay. You don't have to start an online course with that intention. In fact, that's one of the reasons I love them so much, is that you get to decide exactly what you want this to look like. Maybe you just want to earn an extra $10,000 a month. Maybe you're not interested in becoming a brand. I get it. I'm also one of those people. I really create videos like this because I want to help people and because I like helping people who can't afford to take my programs. The other thing that's pretty amazing about online courses is that you can earn passive income, meaning making sales while you're sleeping. Once you set up a funnel that's largely automated, you can be earning money while you're not even working. I can't tell you how exciting it is to be out with my babies, going on a walk, and to make a sale. It's one of those things that I feel like people are becoming more aware of how important it is to build into their own life some sort of passive income stream. But I will say it is slightly misleading because there is work involved. Almost nothing is truly, truly passive. But you are way closer when you stop trading money for time. Okay, so what is the step-by-step process to set up a course so that you can become a millionaire this year? First thing is to figure out what you want to teach. And try to pick something that's a high value problem, meaning something that people would pay good money for to solve in their life. Now, you might be surprised at what that looks like. It's a myth that it needs to have a direct ROI, meaning you're teaching people how to make money. I have seen some incredible courses that have an emotional ROI. This might be helping people become more confident by showing them how to style their clothes better. This could be teaching parents how to get their newborns to sleep through the night. This could be teaching freelancers how to earn clients. This could be helping people navigate a really hard part of their life, maybe grieving the loss of someone in their life or navigating a divorce. Truly, the sky is the limit. So look for a problem that you can solve. More often than not, when I work with people, they are often teaching something that they themselves have solved in their own life. This can be really helpful, especially when you're writing your marketing materials, because that means you're talking to a younger version of yourself. The next step is to validate before you actually build the course, and that's by creating a beta test or having a group of people come through your idea and walking them through the process and helping them achieve that transformation. Initially, this is going to have more touch points with you. In fact, I'd recommend that you don't even build a course yet. Instead, walk them through some materials that you create as you go, week by week, hop on some Zoom calls even, and really having that interaction from those first few people is going to be so powerful when you actually build out your program, because you will build it to what people need and want rather than what you think they need and they want. The next step is to build a minimum viable product, or a MVP. So don't start out by making a 60 lesson course. Instead, do the first 10 steps. What are the minimum amount of steps that you can walk people through in order to help them achieve that transformation? One of the great things about digital products is that they can be updated online. They are living, breathing things online, and they are not stagnant. So you can always improve it. In fact, it's an iterative process. Remembering that it will continue to grow can help you from feeling like you need to include absolutely everything in that first MVP. So just keep it simple. Write things out in a Google Doc, use Loom videos to explain things, and hop on Zoom calls. And truly focus on the outcome of the people in your program rather than the production value. Early adopters like being a part of the process, especially when they know that you're going somewhere big. So don't be afraid to really emphasize that. That also can be a really great technique when you're trying to get them in the door initially by saying this is the last time they'll ever be able to work with you at this particular price point. Which, in case you didn't catch that, that means not working for free. I really recommend having people pay for your beta test. There are some exceptions, but I would say by and large, please get people to pay for your beta test because they will have skin in the game and they will be so much more likely to actually participate and get that transformation that you are going to help them achieve. Another step that I really like is to share the process along the way. If you share the process along the way, you can actually start to build your audience as you are growing your program. And this kind of answers a question that a lot of people ask me, and that's, should I build the product first or should I build the audience first? And I really think that you should be doing as much as you can side by side. And if that feels like a lot, the best way to kind of tackle that is to just block time in your schedule, meaning setting aside a few hours for audience building and setting aside a few hours for building your course. Really, truly, it's as simple as that. And once you start implementing that, you will have created a habit and it will get a lot easier. So the next step is to create systems for scaling. So after you've proven your concept and people have actually purchased your program, then you want to automate as much as possible so that you can get your time back. This includes building out a funnel. A really common funnel for an online course to create a lead magnet, usually a free piece of content that you get people to opt into, meaning they join your email list in exchange for it. Then you have a series of emails, usually a sales sequence, followed by a sales page where you actually get people to purchase the program. And all of this can be automated. And just like the program, so much of the work is on the front end, but those emails and sales pages can serve you for years to come. I have clients and students and me personally who have sales pages, lead magnets, and emails that have been in existence for 6, 7, and 8 years. It's really amazing and one of the most powerful elements of online course creation. 2 important things to decide are your top of funnel strategy, meaning how people initially find you. And I really recommend you go with the thing that you can do consistently. Maybe that's Instagram Reels, SEO, YouTube organic, making that your focus. And I really think it helps to focus on just one, getting really good at that, making it a habit, and then moving on to others if you want to. The other thing you're going to probably need to decide is whether you want to do launches or evergreen. Now, I have done both extensively. I have been a part of over 100 launches as a copywriter and as a business owner. I've also run an extremely successful evergreen model. I think both are great for different reasons. I think launches are a little bit easier to keep a small team, to be more nimble, and to make sure that you're not grinding away constantly. There's a lot fewer hours needed with the launch. And right now, in this season of life, because I have a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old, I have actually moved from evergreen back to launches because I can work fewer hours. Evergreen required lead generation all the time, and it required me working more full-time hours. So it just depends on what you want for your business. And quite frankly, we should do a much deeper dive into launches and evergreens in a future video. So don't forget to subscribe because then you'll get notified when I drop that. But let's do the millionaire math. So you want to make $1 million? You would need either, like I had, a $2,000 program that you could sell to 500 people, a $500 course that you sell to 2,000 people, or a $100 course that you sell to 10,000 people. Now, if you happen to have an audience, volume is on your side. And this is something that blows my mind. When I see people who have spent an incredible amount of time and energy and money building a huge audience, and then they're monetizing it with merch. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with merch. I'm just saying that digital products are a much better way to bring revenue into your business while having a positive impact on your followers' lives. I cannot understand why people with huge audiences are not creating digital products more. Making $1 million in today's world is extremely attainable, and there are many different ways to do it. I happen to think online courses is one of the best because it can be extremely heart-centered. And I won't sugarcoat it. Becoming a millionaire with online courses isn't easy, but it is simple. And I really believe it's something that most people can achieve. You just gotta solve a real problem and scale with systems. And if you commit to that, you do not need millions of followers. I had almost no followers and no subscribers starting out. In fact, if you look at my public audience now, you're probably really surprised. I only have about 22,000 followers on YouTube, and I only have about 66,000 followers on Instagram. That's it. What I've done really well is focused on something that creates real change in my students' lives, which is why I have a sustainable online course business, and then automating as much as possible with systems. If you are an online course creator or have thought about being an online course creator, I have put together the absolute best resource, and I am not exaggerating. My program, Coursia Collective, comes with a proprietary AI tool. This is not just ChatGPT, which is informed by over a decade's worth of experience. This is going to help shortcut every step of your process, from creating your funnels to your marketing materials, even helping you figure out how to price your program and how to get in front of just the right people. It also includes weekly calls with me where you get to actually show up and have a conversation with me. And that's because I'm an in the trenches kind of mentor. I genuinely love wrestling with all the questions that come up as you are growing your business. This is something that really doesn't exist in our industry. Almost all course creators are a few steps removed. You will also get access to lessons that take you from literally knowing nothing all the way to scaling to 7 and 8 figures. And you will join the most amazing community of supportive people. And I'm telling you, that's one of the best parts. Having people in your corner who are cheering you on and there for you when things are rough is one of the best things that you can do as an entrepreneur. So I'd love to invite you to join Coursia Collective, and I've included some details below. So I hope this was helpful. If that was, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. You know what to do. And please don't forget to subscribe. That's a really easy way to support YouTube creators. It allows us to create more content like this. And of course, please drop comments for me. It's where I get my ideas for my next videos. I love hearing from you, and I hope you guys have a lovely day.